Welcome to South Florida saltwater fishing. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite.
Wahoo in the boat, baby! That kickfish right there. There we go. I mean, you talk about epic fishing days. Yeah! Nice bull dolphin right there. Double header! Woohoo! Look at that mud snapper!
Alright folks, in this episode we're going to go over the age-old question for when you are planer trolling. Is it better to use a monofilament or fluorocarbon leader or wire leader? Before we get into this though, if you want to learn more about fishing, ground as an angler, and just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss a thing. Alright folks, so like I said, we're out there planer trolling. More than likely, you're covering the deep edge of the reef. And the question is well, hey, is it better to use monofilament leader and try and get more hookups? Or is it better to use wire leader? That's the more safe, secure thing for landing a fish. Okay, so this is an age-old question. And the reality of it is yes, you are going to get more hookups with monofilament or fluorocarbon. And at the same rate, you are more than likely going to land more fish using wire leader. However, wire leader is not as stealthy as mono or fluoro, so you will more than likely get less hookups. So when we're out there planer trolling, let's understand this. We're usually covering down in the water column. You can go anywhere from 10 feet down to way deep, over 100 feet deep. Typically here in the South Florida coast, you're using a number 6, a number 8, or something like a number 4. So you're down between 40 and 80 feet. Now let's be honest, when we're out here off the deep ledge of our reef planer trolling, we're going after 2 fish. You're going after king mackerel or you're going after wahoo. Periodically, you will land the ever so odd mutton snapper. You will get hooked up with mahi too periodically. And every so often you'll run into that rare instance where you hook a sailfish. Blackfin tuna and false albacore also hit planers, but like I said, more often than not, your target species are kingfish and wahoo. So that being said, our 2 target species are toothy critters. They have razor sharp teeth with jaws like vices that are made to sever the bones of fish instantaneously. So mono leader doesn't really have a chance against that. But let me explain something before we go further. Your 2 target species, you're taking a calculated risk if you're using your mono leader. More than likely, if you are using monofilament or fluorocarbon as your leader, you're going to get more hookups. However, you are going to lose more fish. They can be right at the boat, turn against your line, it pulls in their jaw, and they clamp down, and they're gone. Or you can lose it right when they hit it. Fishing with monofilament or fluorocarbon when planer trolling can be rather frustrating. This is one of those adapt and overcome situations where you are willing to accept the risks. Yet the payoff can also be extremely rewarding. However, I am here to warn you that time and time again, using mono or fluorocarbon on a strip bait lure while planer trolling, you are going to lose fish. Now, not only are you going to lose your fish, you're going to lose your gear. However, using wire leader for your strip bait lure while planer trolling, you are less likely to lose a fish. The reason you might lose him is because he gets off the hook. However, for a fish to bite through wire leader takes almost a miracle. So as I said, with fishing with your monofilament leader, you are going to have some great catches. And you are going to have some great losses and disappointment. Fishing with wire leader, you are less likely to have as many hookups, but you are more than likely to have a significant increase in your ratio of landing the fish. Alright, so let me put this into some numbers for you, statistically speaking. We've got our mono or our fluoro leader, and we've got our wire leader. So statistically speaking, you're going to hook up with twice as many fish using mono and fluoro as you are on wire. So let's say we're going to hook up with 20 fish Mono or fluoro, that means you're only going to hook up with maybe half of those on wire. So here's the thing when it comes to the endurance of these two pieces of terminal tackle. You are more than likely to lose half of these fish, which means you're going to catch about 10 of them. Now, using wire leader, you are more than likely to lose none of them. So, you're going to catch 10. So if we look at the statistics of this, and we're trying to figure out what's better, mono or wire, well, if you look at your end results, they're pretty much the same. The problem is this equation right here. This leads to a lot of disappointment, a lot of frustration, and a lot of questioning, hey, are you doing the right thing? So when it comes to using mono versus wire, it's really your personal choice. Yes, mono, you're gonna get more excitement, you're gonna get more hookups, you're gonna get more action, but you're gonna struggle if you don't like losing fish. Wire leader, on the other hand, you're gonna get less hookups. It might not be as active of a daily process fishing, but your chances are highly elevated of actually landing the fish versus using mono. And this is specifically speaking because of the target species we're going after when planer trolling. We're not going after fish without teeth, we're going after the toothy critters. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that wire leader is indestructible. However, it is virtually indestructible, especially if your terminal knots are tied right, your haywire twist. Whereas mono or fluoro, any little nick by a toothy critter can lead to failure at any time between hookup and landing. So this definitely isn't an argument. Like I said, it's personal choice. Lots of anglers like to get into the action. So if that's you, you might want to consider the mono or fluoro aspect. Or if you're the type of angler that likes to play it safe and more secure of landing your catch, then you go with wire leader. Regardless of what you pick, the outcomes are ultimately the same. Now, am I saying, hey, you're gonna hook up with 20 fish and lose 10 in one day, and the other way you're gonna hook up with 10? No. You gotta go out and keep consistently fishing, and then this is pretty much, a basic rule of averages when it comes to these two different applications and methods for planer trolling. Regardless of what your choice is, mono or fluoro or wire leader, it's still fishing. On any given day, if you run across a hunting fish that is eating with reckless abandon, you're gonna get hit. And again, it all depends upon where they hit your lure. If you're trolling a lure with mono and they tag the tail end of your fish, you're more than safe and sound. Like I said, unless they swing around and their jaw happens to come across your leader as you are trying to land the fish. Whereas something like that won't happen with wire leader. And this is the basic nature of how we as anglers make these decisions. Are we more conservative or are we more adventurous, willing to stay in the action and take that risk? All right, folks, there you have it. A fair, down-to-earth, honest look at how we make our decisions of are we going with mono or are we going with wire leader when it comes to planer trolling. And no matter what your choice is, you're not wrong either which way. All right, folks, that about does it for this episode. Hope you had fun, hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a little bit about the science and the ratios and all the hoopla behind what's better for planer trolling, mono or wire leader. Till next time, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.